You want to talk about an all-electric car that will appeal to the mass market at a great price point, yet with a very decent range? Well, we got to talk about Hyundai Kona EV. It is being sold in Europe right now, in Korea, and a couple of other places in the world. Not yet in North America. We're patiently waiting here, but I got a first-hand review for you guys today. It's not going to be done by me. I will tell you who it's going to be, and we're going to do it in just a few minutes coming up next.
Taking over the world, electrifying the world, E4Electric!
Welcome to E4Electric, your number one source of unbiased electric car news. And if this is your first time here, go ahead and click on that subscribe button down there so you don't miss anything moving forward. All right, let's talk about Hyundai Kona all-electric SUV. I've been waiting for this car for a while. I know Tesla has been dominating the market as far as a decent car that looks good, has a great range. But of course, the problem was that the price tag. And, people have been asking, when can we have something under 30,000, or even less, that's practical, that's got a great range and the features that we want, but doesn't really look like a fugly compliance car. Well, this is one of the few cars that are coming up on the market. This one is already on the market in Europe, and I really think this is going to be a winner. Depending on which country you're in, and depending on incentives, this car is going to start in low 30s, and with some incentives will go into the mid 20s even, and it looks great. They've been making a plug-in hybrid version of it, so they kind of know how to make this one. So let's do an in-person review, and usually I do those on my channel, but I'm here in the United States and I haven't actually had a chance to drive it. And even when I do those, I only usually have maybe an hour or two or a day with a car. But this time around, I have something really much better for you. One of my regular viewers on Patreon's EVPaddy. You guys are probably familiar with him if you watch this show regularly. Well, he just got one, and he is over there in Europe, and he is just going to do a review for us because he's been driving it. Looks like he likes it better than the Model 3, and there are really, like, I watched his video and that I'm just about to play you, and it looks like there are some features that are built better and I guess more practical than in the Model 3. So here's a review from EVPaddy. Definitely would like to hear what you guys think. But this is very interesting. I'm now even looking more forward to this car coming onto the market in North America. So here you go. Check this out.
Hey guys, I already made a similar video in German with a little bit more driving, but I thought I'll do a short video in English for you English speaking guys too. It's about why the Hyundai Kona is the better car than the Tesla Model 3. First and quite important point is the hatch. I can get my dog in here, and this is very important to me. Then you can open and close the door without any special instructions. The charge port is where it belongs, in the front, and of course it's not locked to a walled garden. It has CCS. By the way, you can get it in different colors, even two-tone, without needing another mortgage on your house. It also sports a head-up display, which by the way is much better visible than it seems here on camera, which shows me all the important information: my speed, the allowed speed limit, the status of the lane following assist, blind spot warning, and also navigation instructions to get to my destination. But of course I also have an instrument cluster in plain view with different styles for different driving modes. And I get the blind spot warning on the HUD and also in the rear view mirrors, and I don't have to look on the central display to see whether there's a car beside me. I also have a wireless charger built in. I also have ventilated leather seats, not only heated but also ventilated. The traffic signal detection actually reads traffic signals like Tesla Autopilot 1. It doesn't only take the information from a database. And in general, I have a lane following assist that is, I'd say, on par with Autopilot 1. I used it on the highway already, and I didn't have to do anything by myself. When driving backwards, I have cross traffic warning, which also seems to detect pedestrians. So in the dark, it has already saved some people from being run over. And when I drive backwards, the car also beeps. I also already have the pedestrian warning sound that will be mandatory soon. But I can still switch it off. If I switch it off, it also doesn't beep when I drive backwards. By the way, the turning circle is a lot smaller than in the Model 3. I don't know exactly in feet. It has to be about 3 feet smaller than for Model 3, even a little more than 3 feet. Then I also have Apple Carplay and Android Auto. And I have all the nice apps like Waze or Google Maps. Isn't this Tesla feeling? Or if you absolutely want to, you can use Apple Maps and of course Apple Music. Then the Kona has actual heat pump for heating, so it's a lot more efficient there than the Model 3. It also has buttons for the most important features. You can blindly change your temperature, you can switch on your wipers without going into a menu. Heated steering wheels just one press away. Ventilated seats or heated seats are just one press away. I also have 2 pedals for regenerative braking. I can decrease or increase the level of regenerative braking. And it also has auto regenerative braking. So for example, if I set it to coast, so it doesn't have any regenerative braking, if I follow a car and the car in front of me slows down and I let go of the gas pedal to slow down, the car will use regenerative braking anyway because it detects the car in front of me. It also supports a high level of regenerative braking. I'm pretty sure it can use regenerative braking up to a full 150 kilowatts. And you can use the left pedal to use regenerative braking to a standstill. But it also uses regenerative braking when you hit the brakes. So even if you have regenerative braking set to coasting, when you hit the brake, you don't use the mechanical brake, but the regenerative braking first. And it's also possible to charge the battery to 100% every day without damaging it. There seems to be enough gross capacity, so there's a buffer. You never really change to 100%. And Hyundai even suggests you charge to 100% if you don't use the car for a prolonged time, so it apparently doesn't have any disadvantage. But you can still change the maximum charge level independently for AC and DC charging. So just to make sure, I only charge to 70% in everyday use because I just don't need more. Another good feature is you can open and close this cover without any special instruction or special care. It doesn't need a sensor to tell you how to handle it, it just works. Also, there's only one kind of door handle. You can just open the door. There's no emergency lever and you won't ever damage the rubbers. And you also don't need to climb out of the trunk when there's no power in the car when you are on the back seats. Also, the car has a better ground clearance and you can get in and out very comfortably because it's not so low. You even get 2 key fobs for free and they even have passive entry. And last but not least, the back seats aren't as low as in Model 3, so you're sitting more comfortably here. So that's it, I guess. Before the Tesla fanboys freak out, I know the Model 3 is a very great car and is probably more fun to drive, but I honestly think the things I mentioned are better in the Hyundai Kona, and the Model 3 is a great car, but it's not the right car for everybody, and there are still things that Tesla could do better. Bye.
Thank you so much, EVPaddy, for this report. I really appreciate it. And you know, just like I said, it's so important to get an opinion of someone who actually drives the car every day. Something that, you know, there are quite a few things I probably might have missed. So it's really good to know. And I like the fact that you compare it to Model 3. And I know you kind of had to make a disclaimer at the end not to have some of the Model 3 owners faint. But that's fine. I like this. And by the way, you guys out there, if you have an experience with a car that's just coming out in the market, or any type of an experience with a electric technology, feel free to send one in. I will definitely would like to feature you in one of my videos because this is useful. I really like that. Next time, whenever I might finally get a hold of this car, I will definitely be looking to, you know, for those features and give you my opinion when the time comes. Now, EVPaddy is one of the Patreons, and I appreciate his support in many different ways, including contributing to my channel. I am now a full-time YouTuber, independent YouTuber, and let me give you a shout out to one of the new Patreons, Greg Hinderman. Thank you so much, Greg, for joining, for becoming a new Patreon just very recently. As you know, you guys are the top tier, get to enjoy this show so most of the time live, so you're the first ones to see this, and of course the extra mile segment that I do just specifically for my Patreon, some exclusive material, and of course better access. Patreon.com/sheepelectric if you want to support me. So thank you to EVPaddy, thank you to Greg, and I'm looking forward to your comments, and I'm of course looking forward to getting a hold of this car myself. All right, guys, that's it for now. Other than that, see you next time, and remember to stay charged.